What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game of the Week show, episode number 6. I'm your host, Matt Southwell, and on my right is the ever-present Dan Gilbert.
Hi, everyone.
So, how's your week been?
Yeah, not too bad.
I'll apologise now. You're closest to the window, so if you get struck by lightning, it's not my fault.
Yeah, it's
raining quite bad out there.
Just come in, hasn't it?
Yeah, a thundery episode of the Game of the Week show coming for you guys soon. But first, on my left is Ashley Dye.
Hi.
It's a cracking shirt you're wearing there, Ashley.
What's wrong with it?
I don't really have anything else to say. It's just
I have a couple of t-shirts that don't require ironing, and this is one of them. So
okay. So should we get straight on with the show, guys?
Yeah.
Alright, to any of you out there that are not aware of what the Game of the Week show is, it's three friends sitting around this table every Monday to discuss the latest news in the video gaming industry. We'll then close out our show with the featured Game of the Week. Okay, so let's get straight on with the news. Number one on our list this week, and Sony President Andrew House has left open the possibility of a future Crash Bandicoot game, along with possibly Spyro as well. He said, and I quote, "In concept, it is something we've been thinking about and discussing, and this is a shift for us. We've started to say that maybe there isn't anything wrong with going back and looking at characters that people still talk about, and that were a big part of their childhood or youth. I definitely wouldn't close the door on that." So guys, a new Crash Bandicoot game, is that something that would interest you at all?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do like Crash. It's more of a sort of, sorry, got a bit of a thunderstorm going on. Yeah, for me it's definitely, takes you back to your childhood kind of thing,
Yeah, it's
the good old
the
days.
nostalgia factor of it.
Nostalgia,
is good.
that's the word I'm looking for.
But I don't know, Dan, if you take the nostalgia factor away from it, are sometimes some of these games maybe best left in the past?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, it does depend on what the game was originally about, because how gaming has moved on, maybe what it's focusing on more.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it carries over. I mean, like Mario, for example, side-scrolling platformer.
It's still
works.
working.
It'll always work.
Yeah.
But sometimes, personally, I've never played a Crash Bandicoot game, just because of when I came into gaming, it sort of didn't fit in properly, I guess, and it's just a series that passed me by when I was a kid, so I don't have that.
You don't have the
nostalgic want to see another one.
So you can focus it purely on the video game. Yeah. Now, my biggest concern with this would be, I love Crash, same as you, Ash, and a new game would be great, but the reality is, Crash Bandicoot was at its best when it originally came out, and it was being done by Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog released the first 4 Crash games, I think it was, but then the IP went to Activision. So Naughty Dog, they don't own any part of the Crash IP. So the likelihood of them making the new game is basically zero. So whether or not it would, that's my other concern, is if those guys aren't making it, will it even bring back the heart?
I think that's the only worry with me is, as good a game as it is, you're always going to compare it to how it was for you as a game then.
Yeah.
And if I think if it's not right and it's not done, it's going to be difficult to do it right. I think, because a big part of me is still happy with the way it was.
Yeah.
You've got to find the balance as well when you're a studio bringing something back like that, because you want to be able to appease the original gamers who played the old ones, but you also want something that's going to pull in the new generation that haven't played the game before.
Exactly.
I think it is really hard. I think what you say, touching on how much gaming has moved forward, if they do it, good luck to them, because it's going to be a hard job. I hope it's good, because it was a great time for my childhood, and more of the same is always good, but I will be cautious, let's say.
I would just say it's a bit like me. I played, my son's got the new Sonic games, and when he plays on Sonic games, I look at Sonic and I think he's really sort of detailed. He's got a lot more character about him, and in the cutscenes and all this. And to me, I still like Sonic just to be a little basic, blue and white thing running across the screen, and not be too animated.
Yeah, sure.
So to me, I don't like the sort of new version of Sonic. So it's a bit like that. I prefer the simplicity of the old game.
Again, that's just it. It's you're looking at it from what you played when you were a kid, and then you've got this new generation that they're trying to give something that what the new generation wants.
Yeah.
And it doesn't match up.
Yeah.
No, we'll just have to see. It's a long way away. There's nothing even confirmed. It might never happen. But we'll see what happens. Okay, number 2 on our list, and the Xbox One sales have doubled month on month from May through to June in the US. This is obviously good news for Microsoft, getting more units shifted. But obviously this still doesn't beat the PS4. The PS4 still beat them in the US. So they've doubled, but they're still not beating PlayStation. So not all good news, but it looks like it's probably been because of the fact that they removed the Kinect and shaved the price.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a thing, isn't it? Like, you take the price down to comparable with the PS4, and you go from someone going, I'm going to go for the cheaper option because I don't really see a difference, sort of thing, even though they might have been an Xbox gamer on previous gen on the 360. Then suddenly they're of equal price again. Someone wants to carry over their gaming history from 360 and so on into the Xbox One, they can now afford to do it. So you're opening up that sort of like market share again.
Price is a big factor. I think for the biggest majority, the majority of people that are out there, buying consoles, I think price is a big factor. For me, it was more I wanted to weigh up the sort of cost and the value, really. What value added benefit are you getting from paying that extra money?
You just carried on your momentum as well. You've always been a PlayStation gamer.
I have always been a PlayStation.
So you were already in that camp, and you needed something to really make you jump. But obviously the Xbox gamers, they needed something to jump, and $100 cheaper option. That's the jump.
There's no real difference between the actual consoles themselves and what.
No, most of the games are the same.
So it is the cost was the big difference maker at the start, really.
But I would say momentum, it looks like, is still a big factor. Because PlayStation started off well. We talked a bit tongue-in-cheek last week about how I was saying, where are all your PS4 exclusives? But it's still outselling the Xbox because it's just started so strong. And so... But it's good. It's good for Microsoft that they're obviously shifting more units. I never really needed the Kinect. It's not a big feature. So, but hopefully they can catch up to Sony, because competition is a good thing at the end of the day.
It is. Yeah, it definitely is, and I think it helps push both to do better, and it's better for the consumer all round.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so number 3 on our list, and GTA 5 for the next gen and PC may have a new release date. It was leaked by the online retailer CoolShop that it would be released on November the 14th, before they quickly changed the date back to the placeholder of winter 2014. November 14th is a Friday, so that would matches
UK release time.
All Europe releases. November's obviously good because it's avoiding every other day. But I don't think Rockstar would be scared of anyone, because they're Rockstar. It's the fastest selling game of all time. You guys obviously played it extensively. You going to get it on the next gen?
Yeah, I will. I think it's been long enough now since I finished the game that I kind of wouldn't mind. By the time November gets here, I'll be up for playing it again. The story, and I think there's a few things they've added in there. So I probably will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the similar things. Like, you can correct any mistakes that you might have made going through the story first time if you remember exactly what they were, and so on. It's going to look better, and for convenience sake of the fact is, if we want to be playing online, I don't have to start on my PS4 to party chat with you guys to be able to hear you. And then play on the PS3. So.
Yeah, no, it is. It's one for me that's very much, I'm not decided, just because there's so many games this year. I only have so much money.
It's not a necessity.
It's not a necessity, but there is the replayability. You guys said. I mean, you probably remember all the heists. You could do it either the stealth way or the guns blazing way.
Yeah.
So you can, if you decided to go guns blazing last time, maybe you go stealth this time, or vice versa. So the story does open up that replayability, and
there's a huge amount of replayability. I mean, just the general openness of the game itself, gives it that. So I think there's.
I'm sure it'll still sell extremely well even if there is not that many people that haven't already bought it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised for people to buy it.
I wouldn't be surprised if 25%, maybe a bit more.
Rebuy.
Plus, they envision like GTA Online lasting for years.
Yeah,
and so on. I can see it would have a better chance of lasting that time on next gen.
Yeah,
because that's where everyone's going.
Rather than
you're
previous
right.
on the PS3, because that hardware is going to get to a point where it hits its limit, and it can't be pushed any further. Whereas PS4 and Xbox and PC, they've got the adaptability to just move on and stay with whatever they want to throw at it.
PC gaming as well is a huge community as well. PC gaming hardware sales totally destroyed console sales a couple of months back, or over the last quarter I think it was. So there's obviously a lot of PC gamers out there which will be buying this game, and that's where the bulk of the sales will go.
Yeah,
but I'm sure there'll be those people that you're talking about on next gen current gen.
We're all making that mistake.
I know. I hate people using next gen, and I'm using it as well. But yeah, November, good time.
Yeah, I think that's sensible. If that is the time that it's coming out, I think that's a sensible time to do, because it's after the big sort of bulk of the.
They agree out there as well.
It's after the big bulk of the October releases, and comes just before, I think, the Christmas sales, doesn't it? Slightly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, number 4 on our list, and good news for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans. If you don't have a 3DS, don't worry, because there is another new game coming out for the Xbox 360. Whilst it hasn't been officially announced by Activision, there has been leaked box art and achievement list for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Training Layer, which is going to be a downloadable Kinect title for the 360. Guys,
you mean I can't play this one either?
No, well, you can go and buy a 360. Those Kinect games, they've always been really good. Oh dear.
So it being a Kinect game, basically the whole idea is you're just going to wave your arms at your TV.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
I'm a turtle.
Who doesn't do that? Stand in front of their telly.
It looks like kind of like a Turtle Fruit Ninja game. That's basically what it looks like.
Right. I love Fruit Ninja, but I hate turtles.
You hate turtles?
Well, games.
Get out.
No, games.
Oh, games. Okay, fine. Good save.
Yeah. I'm not. I won't be buying a
360 just to play it.
No.
Don't worry, I will not be getting this game either. I have no time for Kinect.
Didn't they bring one out a couple of months ago?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't pay attention. So I don't pay attention to Kinect games because they're, in my opinion, a waste of time.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5 on our list, and this week it's been announced that NBA 2K15 will have a new cover star in the form of Oklahoma City's Kevin Durant. In addition, it was also announced that FIFA 15 will be continuing with Barcelona's Lionel Messi as their cover star. Guys, do cover stars in sports games really matter, or does box art in general still matter?
Sports games, I'd say no, simply because you're not getting the game for the athlete on the front.
Yeah,
you're getting it for what the game is. That athlete has no bearing whatsoever on the content.
True.
I had a football game that had Kieran Dyer as a cover athlete. Okay,
he was great for.
But I think he's
not exactly one of the world's greatest legends, is he?
No. We're sorry, Kieran, if you're watching.
So it's one of those things where it doesn't matter for sports games because it's the content.
Well, it's the same for all games, isn't it?
But
to me, a cover is very important. How a game looks actually is, and more so if you're stood in a shop and you're thinking, right, I fancy a new game. What do I want? It's got to be appealing to the eye. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's got to draw you in to want to look at it. And if you're more of a casual gamer, okay, we're not exactly casual gamers. We're a bit more hardcore, but. If you're just a casual gamer going into a shop on a weekend and just sort of looking at games and not really knowing what to get, and you're not really sort of looking at reviews of games, that's who they're catering to.
Yeah.
I agree for that, but again, going back to sports games, it's going to be the sport.
Yeah,
so that's where it doesn't matter.
I will actually jump in here actually now, based on what Ash just said. Casual gamers. If you've got, for the casual gamer again, a football game, you've got FIFA on the left, which has got Lionel Messi, one of the greatest, arguably greatest footballers, not only of his current time but ever. And then you've got another game on the right here who's got Wayne Rooney. sorry, Wayne. But which
the players today.
Only the English ones, it's fine. But then, people are going to go, well, that's got the better footballer, so it must be the better game. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say actually, you're probably best to compare it with having Lionel Messi and having one that doesn't have a cover star but has almost like a stadium or something.
Or someone that people don't know. Maybe
artwork,
Wayne Rooney wasn't the best because people still know him, but like an unknown player to the casual fan.
Yeah.
But me and Dan were talking about this briefly off camera, that there was a time where that artwork mattered to more people.
Yeah.
But now there's so much information on the internet that you can get on games.
Yeah.
Most people who are buying games have an idea of what they're buying before they're buying it. They're not going into the shop completely blind. There are still those casual guys, but there's a lot less.
Even
than
then, with the fact that a lot of people have smartphones now.
Yeah.
Even if you're a casual gamer and you're just in the shop, you're like, I don't know which one's better. It takes a couple of minutes to just look up on your phone.
Yeah.
And well, that got a 3-star, that got a 5-star rating. Well, I'm going to get the one with the that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Going just one step further, now obviously this isn't the case for all games, but you've got to bear in mind some of the companies that make these games are big companies. They have a huge marketing team. Huge.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, they research everything. I mean, if you look at the likes of, sort of Facebook or something, something like that, they focus on where your eyes are drawn to, what colours work, to the exact shade of colouring, to the layout. They go to so much detail to make sure that it is appealing to the eye for the consumer, because they want their product to be,
standing out.
Exactly. And there's a science to it. There are hundreds of people just working on, whether the logo should be on the top left-hand corner or the top right-hand corner. And so, it wouldn't surprise me to, from a statistics point of view, if, artwork is really, really that important. Because I think it's really important.
I'm sure they probably do kind of closed testing where they'll have a selection and just say you don't know anything about this game, which one of these would you pick?
I think these days it does depend on your audience altogether though, because I've already gone out and pre-ordered Uncharted 4 and the next Mass Effect game. On Amazon they don't have box art yet.
Yeah, but that's different. That's
my point. That's because I've got history behind it.
So, and you're a different. I think you're a different kind of gamer to probably
the mass market still.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. It's it now depends on your target audience as to whether the box art matters at the end of the day. Because someone who has history in a franchise, they're not going to care.
That's true.
They know what they're getting. Whereas a new person, that's the draw.
So it's always just trying to expand, be bigger, be better every time. I think Ash has hit the nail on the head. People aren't it. First time for everything. Okay, guys. Game of the week this week. Don't really have any ideas, to be honest. If you got anything that we can put in this,
there's not a lot out there.
I know. Through to December, I've got pretty much every week now down. It's just these next couple of weeks.
It's July to August, isn't it? It's just so slow.
We've done all the sort of Watch Dogs and
there's a couple of games I can think of, but we haven't yet played them. Maybe we need to go and start buying some games.
Actually, when I leave here, I'm actually going down to, as soon as I leave here, I'm going down to the shop to get a new game, and I'm probably going to go with the Assassin's Creed's Black Flag.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Purely because I've not played any of the Assassin's Creed games, and I know you both play them, and obviously they're a massive series. Quite sort of, the game does look good from the gameplay and trailers.
That Unity one that you liked.
Yeah, a lot. So I'm thinking, right, well, I've got a little bit of time now between sort of August, September time. got 2 or 3 games that I'm playing, but then
Yeah.
it'd be good. So
Shall we?
I'll tell you what, we'll
do that, and we'll do it
yeah.
like you try to
Yeah.
convince.
Yeah.
We'll try to
No,
convince
we're
you.
trying to-
Yeah.
yeah.
You try and convince us.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I'll
Okay.
I'll cut.
we'll do the
I'm not
intro,
going to go and stop the camera. I'll just cut this and we'll start again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So now it's that time of the show where we discuss our game of the week. And this week we're going to roll back the clock a little bit and discuss Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Now, this game obviously came out last October, November. I can't remember the exact date.
October for PS3, November for PS4 generations.
Yeah, it was release title, wasn't it, for the new
it
gen?
was.
Which is what I got it on, and you've obviously got it as well. Ash, you're thinking about getting this year?
I'm definitely thinking about getting it today.
Okay.
I'm not 100%, but pretty sure that's the game I'm intending to go and buy. So unless something really jumps out at me that I've not considered, that's what I'm going to get.
Hopefully, we'll have that good box art.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so Dan, do you want
Yeah.
to lead off, try and convince him why he should buy it?
Well, Black Flag, just a very quick sort of backstory to this one. It's set in the early 1700s. You play the character of Edward Kenway, who is a privateer turned pirate turned assassin.
Pirate. Arr.
I said pirate, not farmer. Arg.
Arr. Okay.
Yeah.
That's close.
Idiot.
Never mind. But yeah, throughout his sort of adventures, he sort of get mixed up with the Assassin's Order, with the whole Assassins versus the Templars, which is one of the running things throughout the Assassin's Creed series. But he doesn't step away from his life as a pirate / privateer.
Yeah.
And so on. So you get to experience both sides of it.
He's very different from. I mean, you won't care too much about this, but he's different from the other guys. Is he's not everyone else out there in the previous Assassin's Creed series have seemed very much kind of for justice.
Yeah.
Whereas he's out for himself,
Yes,
which
very much
I
so.
personally like more because it gives him as a character a bit of an edge. He's probably my favourite character from the Assassin's Creed series. I'm sure Dan's probably going to disagree with me.
I am going to disagree because I've played all of them all the way through. Ezio for me, which was the character from 2, that trilogy there.
Yeah.
He's a much more at the moment, because I haven't finished with Edward's story yet.
Yeah.
But to me, like Ezio was a
Gonna
much
take
more
some beating,
overall character, but Edward's very good.
Yeah.
Especially after the disappointment that a lot of gamers felt with 3, with Connor.
Yeah, don't play 3.
No.
Boring as
Everyone agrees that that's the worst Assassin's Creed.
yeah.
I just outright didn't play it because everyone said it was bad. I was like, well, I'm not going to waste my time or my money.
Yeah,
I know you did as a fan, and you only just completed it this year, didn't you? Because
I
came
basically
out.
took off like 8 months or whatever from when it came out to
So angry,
finishing it. I just got I honestly I got bored,
Yeah.
but I felt just for the sake of
Series,
getting it finished, I should,
Yeah.
so that I can then move on, and which is why I've now.
Because I've got the first Assassin's Creed for PS3, but it was a game that I just sort of inherited, if you like. A friend of mine was getting rid of all his PS3 stuff, and I actually ended up getting about a dozen games for PS3.
Okay.
So he wanted nothing for them pretty much, and I said, yeah, I'll have them. But of course, you get a dozen games at once, and
You can't play them all.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I've not. So I thought, I'll have to pick it up. And I was looking at it the other day, and I thought, I wouldn't mind getting into the series, because I know you guys talk about it. We talk about it quite often anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought, with Unity coming up soon, and as good as that looks, it'd probably be a good introduction to
Yeah.
the series.
The good thing about Black Flag, Dan again will correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems almost very different from the rest. I mean, there was the Ezio trilogy that Dan talked about, but even though it's a running franchise, it's itself, you can play every game as standalone. Jumping into Black Flag for the first time, it's not really going to feel like you've missed the first 5 games.
No, it's got a very quick tutorial compared to, again, Assassin's Creed 3, which took about 10 hours. It felt like to play through all the tutorial levels. Whereas this one, it jumps you in. It's just like, right, you need to do this. It throws you in straight away.
Yeah.
I think that's always my worry, and I'm probably not the only person
it gets
that
it done
thinks-
very quickly. It gently reminds you of how to do things like as you're playing. So I mean, you can probably turn those hints off. I haven't. But
no, it's good. I think that's good to know, because I think if you're going into a game that's obviously got a long history with other games of the series, it is always a worry, I think, to someone new to the series. I've probably got to play the other games first, and I don't know the backstory, and
it's like
it touches on it. There's a small thing, isn't there?
There's a thing for I guess more fans of the series as a whole, which explains how they're using the DNA of this particular person and so on, how they're accessing it and all of that, but I don't want to go into that too much, because you haven't played them, so it's kind of,
it's something that's just going to be there, and you're just going to be like, oh, okay, I don't really understand what's going on here, but it's such a small segment, it won't.
It doesn't really.
But in terms of the actual gameplay itself, I know you love Far Cry 3 as a game, and it's got some very similar elements to that, because you've got your collectible stuff in there, you've got the crafting that you had. You had to go hunt animals and stuff. It's got that to be able to upgrade like your armor and pouches and stuff like that. It's got viewpoints which you need to go to open up the map, which is very much like the radio towers that you would have had in Far Cry 3. So it's got those very similar elements.
And it's got the castle towers that you have to destroy, because you're a pirate, so you've got a pirate ship, and various areas have like these forts. So that's like your strongholds or whatever they were called in Far Cry 3, the camps. So you have to take those down as well, which are quite fun, because you're effectively a pirate ship having to shoot at a fort while a fort's shooting all its cannons back at you. So those look really cool, and they're quite, some of them are. Have you done any of those yet?
I haven't got to that point yet. It's like, I think my ship's ready to be able to try it. The good thing about the map, it's a huge map, it's the whole of the Caribbean. You can basically sail wherever you want. But obviously all of it's still, it's like the British Empire and the Spanish, whatever they're called, Spanish Empire. So you can go everywhere in there. The map's split quite nicely. Like you've got the top part of the map, which is considered easier. So like there'll be weaker ships sailing around, so it'll be easier for you to take them down whilst your ship's still low. The forts to take down won't be kind of quite as intense. But as you go further down the map, further south, everything gets harder. So
that's quite nice.
That's quite nice, because you can then stay in like the more northerly waters whilst you're still early on in the game. But as you get stronger and more powerful, you can. And that's the best aspect of the game, I think. The exploration, the freedom, and everything.
It's really good. And it's like,
I like the idea of the sailing, because you've got if you can move around freely. I think it's one thing to. When you go to a cutscene and they jump on a boat and you end up at a different island, which I think is what you said that they just off camera. I mean, you were saying about it before about it, just cutting. You didn't have that sort of openness, if you like, on the waters.
No, it's like most of the time it would just take, like old games would just like take you from here to here. You start from here, kind of thing. I mean, you can fast travel. Once you've unlocked them, because again you have to climb the viewpoints and so on to be able to unlock the fast travel areas. Once you know it's there, you can fast travel to that point, so you can cut down on long journeys and so on.
Which is sometimes good, because if you're doing missions and you're wanting to get through the story, which the story isn't great personally, because a lot of the missions are very simple. Like for the guys like us who have played a lot of Assassin's Creed, it starts to feel a bit familiar. A lot of like kind of sneaking stealth kills, follow this guy and that. But it will all be new to you, so you might not get quite as bored so easily. But
it is one of those things where the franchise has sort of been in danger of becoming stale, because you're having to repeat the same kind of thing all the time.
I know the sort of thing you mean.
They add little changes and so on, which try and make it better for you again. And like again, when Unity rolls around, it might be completely different.
Well, I think this
might be the same.
Obviously, this game, like you touched on before, was PS3, PS4, so it's cross generations. So it's not quite the new experience. Whereas this time round, Unity is actually next or current gen only, and they're bringing out another game for the previous gen. So that one will be the real big step up. But this game still looks really pretty.
It looks very good.
When you're sailing, you go to your fastest, it cuts away, and you can just see your ship sailing and. You can see all the waves and the horizon of all the islands, and
there's a lot of
your crew
there.
Singing. It looks and sounds really good. And more importantly than anything, it's just a lot of fun to play.
It is. It's like I could have been further in the storyline than I am. But I've just been enjoying sailing around,
Yeah.
hunting, trading ships and so on, getting supplies, just listening to the crew sing sea shanties as we're going along, which I like as a touch.
Yeah.
Because it makes your crew feel very real. It's like you can just ask them to sing as you're going along. And so on. Maybe as you get more crew members, it becomes louder.
I haven't really noticed.
I haven't really noticed because I've upgraded my crew size once.
Yeah.
So maybe when I do it again, it might make it.
So what would you say to wrap things up then? What would you say is out of 10?
8.5?
I'd agree with that. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
That's
an
good.
overall, because
Yeah.
again, I've played a lot of the franchise. There's still little things in there as a gamer
That could be
I
improved.
see I would rather be removed
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
changed slightly.
Changed. Yeah.
And they frustrate at little points, but there's nothing major.
Yeah. You'll have a lot of fun. Story itself, probably about 12 to 15 hours, but with all the free roam stuff, all the collectibles and everything, which I know you like and I know you'll do.
Yeah, I will.
There's I've already put 35 hours into the game and I'm nowhere near finished the main story.
Okay.
So
No,
there's
that's fine.
probably a good 40-50 hours there to do
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
good
I think-
bang for your buck.
I think I probably will. I'm pretty sure I'll be going with that game anyway today, and I'll let you know in the week how I get on with it.
Cool. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about it for this week on the Game of the Week show. If you've liked what you've watched, please do like the video and subscribe to our channel. If you want to discuss anything that we've talked about, then please leave your comments down below. If you also want to talk about anything future gaming related or anything we haven't discussed, also leave those in the comments. We will respond to you. For now, Dan, Ash,
Cheers, Matt.
thank you for your time.
Cheers, Matt.
And to everyone out there, we will see you next Monday.